What's up guys, it's the Realist Rantman YouTube channel here, and today I'm coming up with the top 10, or shall I say top 10, or shall I say annoying 10 things that normies or people say to me, and I suppose people like me as well. Now, I haven't actually done a video like this, like a top 10 sort of thing. So if you guys want me to make any more videos like this, I don't know, like top 10 favourite sports, top 10 favourite Premier League teams, similar thing, or top 10 favourite animals, or something like that, feel free to put even in the comments, because it's nice to change things up instead of just being negative all the time, although it is the truth. Why? At least I would say most of it what I speak, because I'm still young, right? You know, I'm still young, dumb, and full of cum. I don't know why I said that. I just find it funny saying it. I mean, I don't care. I could be weird. I mean, people aren't going to judge me on my channel. We're a community, so unlike certain others who judge me for saying certain things, I think you guys know what I'm talking about. But I'm not going to get into that because I'm trying to put that in the past now. But yeah. Anyway, without further ado, uh, let's look into it. So I've got 10 things down on the scripts, and I've written different phases that people would say to you and things like that that are annoying, right? So the first one is, life is what you make it. Well, not really though, is it? If I really wanted to make my life a certain way, I would find some magic way to get rid of my insomnia. I'd find some magic way to stop my mum from being an overprotective bastard and actually trying to get me somewhere in life instead of just constantly demanding for her to see the rabbits. You need to come round. You haven't been there in a while. You need to come see the rabbits. I'm like, why do I need to come and see the rabbits? Like, what's with this woman? Why does she have to see me like almost every week? Like, even when she texts me, she has to say, "You awake?" Like, why does it matter? But then just other things, like my grandma went round on Christmas and said, "Oh, don't worry, life will get better. Life is what you make it." And I was just looking at her, I was like, "Bitch, what the fuck are you talking about?" Now, I actually quite like my grandma on my dad's side. To be fair, they're very fascinating people. Probably very few family members I actually like, to be honest. But Jesus Christ, they're so delusional sometimes. Like, how is life what you make it? Do you think anyone chooses to become homeless? Do you think anyone chooses for their spouse or for their husband to beat them? Do you think any child asks to be raped? Do you think any child asks for that? Of course they don't. No child, no child asks for that. No adult asks for that, man or woman. No one does it, no one asks to go through shit. So when shit happens to people and you're saying life is what you make it, well, that's simply a load of crap. And I think you can make your life better in some ways. Yeah, I think so. I exercise more. I eat healthier. I'm going to go back to eating junk food though, because I'm still dealing with sleep deprivation. Um, it's pointless anyway because I'm moving out soon. So it's and I just don't care, to be honest. I don't care. I'd much rather fucking watch porn or have escorts round and play video games and eat junk food than fucking go out and get a job, be all healthy, and go to the gym and shit. And unfortunately, I'm probably going to have to get a job at some point in the next few months. So I'm fucked regardless. But anyway. But yeah, life is not what you make it. There are some parts in life that you can make better, but I don't believe life as a whole is what you make it. That's a stupid quote, and people need to get out of their heads, out of their fucking asses, when they say that. Because, I don't think anyone chooses to be homeless or, anyone chooses to fucking be poor. No one chooses to not be, no one chooses to be ugly. Right? No one chooses to be beaten up. No one chooses to be stabbed or to be sexually assaulted. No one asks for that shit, and people need to stop doing that because it's just, you know what I mean? It just takes the piss. Two, kind of do with the first one. Life isn't all that bad. You're just negative. Am I though? Because seems to me that with all the increased rates of crime rates, the increase in seldom, the increased rates of feminism, the increased rates of mental health problems, the increased rates of obesity, climate change is getting worse. or the environmental issues if you don't believe in climate change, but you can't deny pollution is a big problem and it is getting worse. There's literal plastics in our water, like literally, there's literal plastics in our water. And yet not everyone wants to make out that life isn't super bad or anything. It fucking is. It's awful. And it's getting worse, at least. So even if it isn't all bad, life is getting worse. Even in the Western world, it is getting worse. And no one, you know what I mean? It's just so fucking retarded, man. And like, you're just negative. That's all they ever come back. They can't find any decent description of life isn't this, because actually there's some statistics to prove that what you're saying is false. Therefore, it's not as bad as what you make it out. So therefore, life as a whole is. They don't even do that. They just go, you're just negative. You're just a negative ninny. That's exactly what my sister, not my sister, my mum says. You're just negative. You just see the world in a negative way. I'm like, no, mum, because I'm not a woman like you and I can actually see the world for what it fucking is, you dumb twat. Fucking annoys me. And like, she'll always get examples and compare me to my sister. I said I wish I wasn't born like 2 months ago. Because I got angry at her for a stupid fucking reason, because she asked me, have you had your coffee yet? And I hadn't. So I was like, oh, what a fucking dumbass. And then I got all reactive because I was just tired of her shit, right? Just asking me pointless questions all the time. Even if the intention was there, I suppose. Even if there was good intentions. It just got on my nerves, so I just flipped out, overreacted, I will admit that, but she just then suddenly just compared me to my sister and said, look at your sister, she's got married, she has her own place. I'm like, she's a fucking woman. She has it easy. I don't. And she's not autistic, nor does she have to deal with abusive step-parents as badly as I did. Let alone the fact that she's a woman and she grew up with a family full of women, so it would suit her. Me being born into the family that I had to deal with was not good. Combining with the fact that some people all go through different stages in life, and then for her to fucking say that shit, just, made me feel so much guilt and shame within myself as well. And this is why I hate my mum. I cannot stand her. She just says the most stupid fucking shit. I can't stand her. Like, literally, I hate her, if I'm being honest. I don't like her. Just a typical single mother who has no clue what a fucking man like me goes through. She doesn't fucking understand it at all, and it really annoys me. And again, as I've said, the third one, there are people that have it worse, so deal with it. I'm like, fuck you. Just because someone has it worse than me doesn't mean that I haven't got a right to complain about my issues. Doesn't mean that I shouldn't have any freedom of speech and talk about them with anyone. It's fucking ridiculous. And it's just like, yeah, there are people that have it worse, but that doesn't mean, do you know what I mean? It doesn't mean that I can't talk about my problems as well, or raise awareness about them. You know what I mean? This is why I just don't talk to parents or normies anymore. They annoy the fuck out of me. Having kids is good. Yeah, having kids is good, is it? Yeah, bringing kids into a world that's getting more expensive. That's where these kids are going to be iPad kids and they're going to have their heads shoved in fucking iPads all day. Oh yeah, that's very good to bring them into a world like that, isn't it? God. Oh yeah, and let's go outside and go outside where the air is so fucking toxic that it gives you cancer. Oh yeah, very good idea to bring a kid into that. Yeah, very good. Yeah, don't worry. Let's bring a kid into a world where that kid's gonna have so much microplastics in his fucking liver that he's literally gonna get cancer. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Like, what's wrong with these fucking breeders, man? I think it's a good idea to still have a kid in this day and age. It ain't the 80s anymore, mate. A kid ain't going to be born in a world where people treat each other, where there's communities, where the food's more organic and there aren't as many plastics and, people were nicer to each other and inflation wasn't as bad. You know what I mean? And you didn't have all the fucking court bullshit where, it was easy for a woman to win the case over a man. You didn't have that shit back then. You have that shit now. I think it's 10 times, and I mean 10 times more ethical just with the way society is now to not have a kid. It's not worth it. And we're overpopulated anyway. We have too many people anyway. Why do you think it's a good idea to bring kids into this world? So fucking stupid. If you go to the gym and do no fap and you know what I mean, and meditate, your whole life will get better. Well, being honest, it's not that it will help that annoys me. It's the fact they'll make it out like it will change your whole life. It will make you into this 10 out of 10 stud muffin that will get all the pussy and, you know what I mean, will be super attractive and will be happy and will sleep well at night and won't have to deal with insomnia, won't have to deal, and will have a woman in his bed and, you know, and will have a good life, in other words. That just isn't the case. I did self-improvement back when I was a teenager. And let me fucking tell you, it did not work. I still couldn't get laid. I was still not attractive, despite wearing £100 trainers, £100 jacket, £150 watch. So I was literally flexing pretty much. I wasn't like showing myself off, but like, I was trying to like I was walking through with some swagger, you know, trying to get people to look at me and you know what I mean? Didn't fucking work. Why? Because A, I didn't even approach or ask out any women in the first place. And second of all, because my dad just said, just wait and you'll find the right one. And I'm just like, fuck off. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, with the other shit that I was talking about, you know, like all the no fap and all that, I did no fap for a week and it did not fucking work. I didn't really get many more erections. My real sexual desire was still not the same, and I just gave up in the end and just went back to watching porn and whatever, right? It's just all a load of shit. Going to the gym won't make your life amazing. It will help you cope with life a bit better especially if you enjoy it. You know, I don't enjoy the gym. I much rather grab a football or a basketball and kick it around or throw it around than fucking go to the gym and lift weights. Right? It just doesn't interest me. Right? I much rather go and play football than fucking, you know what I mean? You know, and just wearing nice clothes and getting a haircut. I didn't really need to shave because I couldn't grow facial hair at 17. I didn't have my first shave till I was like 18, 19. So, yeah. And yeah, like the self-improvement thing did not work. Now, if it did, would I recommend it? I mean, I probably would because it would have worked in my experience, but it didn't. You know, I still came out of college or 18 as a virgin. And then by the time I got to that, you know, I think the moment I did my first shift at the old place I worked at, I just thought, I can't deal with this, man. Like the self-improved stuff isn't working. Life's hard enough as it is. And I know that if I'm going to have to work a job like this for the rest of my life, then I'm just going to have to I'm just going to fucking eat junk food and be miserable, man. Go to the gym, to do all the self-improvement stuff on top of that, it's just too exhausting, pretty much. I just opted out and just did the lazy way, to be honest. But yeah, that was pretty much it. This is my now I've got five other reasons because I can't upload longer than 15 minutes because YouTube won't let me. So I'll upload a part two. And yeah, yeah, I'll see you in part two.